In modern healthcare, a doctor's primary objective is delivering excellent patient care, often operating in a relentless, high-speed environment. Yet diagnosing an illness or completing a successful surgery does not trigger an automatic deposit into the clinic's bank account. Here in Miami, a massive labyrinth of paperwork, state-specific regulations, and commercial payer requirements stands between the physician's services and the actual revenue. Without a highly accurate system to navigate this gap, even the busiest medical practices risk total financial collapse. Managing this revenue cycle forces clinic administrators to handle thousands of constantly changing codes and strict insurance rules every single day. This pie chart illustrates the true cost of that red tape. Administrative tasks can consume up to 70% of a practice's total resources, heavily outweighing the time actually spent on medical operations. When staff are overwhelmed by paperwork, errors slip through, insurers reject claims, and choke off daily cash flow. Fixing these operational leaks is a strict requirement to keep the clinic's doors open and the lights on. The life cycle of a clean medical claim begins long before a patient walks into the waiting room, starting with provider credentialing. A doctor must be officially recognized and enrolled within an insurance network's specific system before a single legal bill can be generated. This timeline tracks the rigorous 60 to 120-day process required to establish that foundation. A major hurdle is CAQH enrollment, the universal database verifying credentials. Operating in parallel is the setup for EDI, the secure digital pipeline necessary to transmit actual claim data. Executing these initial applications flawlessly prevents massive compounding payment delays from surfacing months down the line. Once a clinic is properly credentialed, the daily revenue cycle starts the exact moment a patient's visit concludes. Every human interaction, symptom, and treatment must be converted into universal, standardized alphanumeric data that an insurance computer can instantly process. Look at this split-screen diagram. It extracts a diagnosis from a medical chart, applying exact ICD-10 codes to classify the disease. Next, the coder generates CPT codes describing the specific services performed. Finally, specific modifiers are attached to authorize the reimbursement. Achieving perfect precision in this translation phase is the primary defense a practice has against catastrophic claim rejections. That precisely coded data then flows seamlessly through electronic health record or EHR systems, the digital patient charts like Epic or Cerner, directly to the insurance payers. For Miami practices, this means navigating the highly specific regulatory requirements and prior authorization rules unique to Florida Medicaid and Medicare. If a claim hits a regulatory roadblock, lacks documented medical necessity, or contains a single typo, the insurance payer will immediately deny it. At this point, dedicated billing teams step in to analyze the denial patterns, file necessary appeals, and apply corrective measures to the original code. Expert medical billing requires aggressively defending a clinic's legal right to compensation rather than simply submitting data. When this complex machinery operates flawlessly, the resulting financial metrics shift from erratic guesses to a predictable baseline. This line graph demonstrates what happens when specialists take over. Claim denials plummet from historical highs to stabilize below the 5% threshold. With fewer errors and faster submissions, the payment timeline accelerates, dropping to a predictable 14 to 30 days for standard claims. That speed creates a baseline, though specialized local tracking is still required for Florida Medicaid and Medicare, which typically process within a slightly longer 30 to 45-day window. By hitting these optimized metrics, a practice stabilizes its daily cash flow, ensuring its overall financial health and operational longevity. Behind all this data are the doctors and clinic administrators, who often bear the brunt of an inefficient back office. Outsourcing this locally nuanced, highly technical machinery effectively removes the bureaucratic nightmare from their daily routine. Optimizing the revenue cycle generates consistent income while directly returning hundreds of lost hours back to the clinic staff. Mastering the mechanics of medical billing gives Miami's healthcare providers the freedom to return entirely to their true purpose, delivering exceptional care and growing their practice.